Today we have a very interesting theme. We will make a vintage needle case of an old cup. Let's decorate it with lace and with flowers made manually. We very much hope that our ideas will be useful to you, and you will surely use them in creation of your handmade masterpieces, with which you will decorate your home or will please your friends. Hello, my name is Natasha Fokhtina, and I'm glad as always to welcome you in our studio. Today we have the most interesting lesson. I suggest to make such needle case of an old cup. And you ask, why cup? I explain. The needle case is a case or a pad for needles and pins used in sewing, which excludes possibilities of their loss in the course of work. Our cup will be a case for a pad. We begin with making of the basis of our needle case. I prepared for work such old ceramic cup. The word old means only that it doesn't new, or rather it was at my home for a long time, but there are neither chips nor other defects on it. I say honestly that I'm not one of those who like to decorate something broken and damaged, and I use only good and strong preparations in work. And in my opinion, there is no place to the broken crockery in the house. Before work, I unoil my cup with an alcoholic solution. In other words, I remove from it dust and possible grease stains, which won't give the chance to a decor to be linked to a surface. Further, you need to take ground for glass and ceramics and to apply it on the cup. It's possible to do it by any way which you like. In other words, ground can be applied as by means of a brush and a piece of foam rubber. For example, I like to do it by foam rubber by a tamping method, as ground lays down on the product more densely, and it's not necessary to apply it in some layers. By the way, if you choose a brush, keep in mind that each layer of ground needs to be dried before applying the following. As soon as you will be happy with the result, in other words, when on the cup the old drawing won't be visible anymore, it's necessary to take a pencil and to outline pattern which subsequently will become volume. I suggest to make of a usual smooth cup a cup with an ornament. For this purpose, we need to prepare paste for drawing of this ornament. To tell the truth, in shops for needlework there are a lot of specialized pastes by means of which it's possible to draw any volume elements. But I don't see the point to spend money on that. It's possible to make it myself without special work, and on quality, the turned-out material won't differ from the purchased. I suggest you to take universal acrylic putty and to dilute it by means of an acrylic varnish to a thick cream. You need not enough varnish. You will ask me a question, how many? I answer. To know it at first, you should take any syringe bottle, in other words, capacity with a narrow spout and soft walls similar to this. Fill it to half by putty and add a little bit of varnish. We shake up the bottle, overturn, press, and from a spout there should appear paste, which you can draw a volume straight line. If all as I tell, it's enough varnish. If you make huge efforts pressing on the tube and paste isn't extruded, you need to add varnish. Thus, you will find the optimal ratio of components for making of paste for drawing. And as I'm sure that you will do everything from the first, I won't tell that if you suddenly made paste more liquidly than it was necessary and it spreads, haven't got on a product, it's necessary to add putty in your bottle. Here everything is simple, but before starting drawing this paste on pencil lines, I recommend at first to train on a sheet of paper. It's necessary to achieve that your hands cease to shiver and the pressure on the tube during drawing will be constantly identical. And if the hand shivers already slightly, it's possible to get to work. In other words, to make a drawing or all sketch. I notice that paste dries very long, till 6 hours. And not to do nothing so much time, I suggest you to be engaged in making of our needle case. In other words, its most important detail, a pad in which needles will be stuck. We take cotton sheeting and cut out from it a circle with a diameter of 1.5 times more than the diameter of our cup on the top edge. I prefer to do it by zigzag scissors, which allow us to prevent strong falls of cut fabric. Therefore, I at once begin assemblage of the edge of a circle by means of a thread and a needle. I need to make a sack, to put in it enough synthetic winterizer, that it become elastic and volume, and to tighten densely the hole through which we fill the synthetic winterizer. We should have such patty, which I dip into strong tea brew, to tone it, press it well, and leave on drying. Further, I take half meter of cotton lace, gather it in a ruche and also have a dip into tea leaves press. Why we need tea leaves? As I decided to make a needle case in vintage style, I need to make old a few old materials which I use, and in this variant, tea gives cream and a little rusty shade on fabric. And while fabric dries, it's possible to take our cup and to continue work with it. The next morning, when paste dries, you will be able to take white acrylic paint and to apply it by tamping method on the surface of our basis of needlework case. We dry this paint layer, take bituminous wax, and rub with it the cup and the saucer. By the way, the saucer is metal, and such beautiful volume on it already was. At first, I also coated with white acrylic ground, then paint and made old. We wait when wax is absorbed in the surface and cease to soil hands, and right after it, we pass to assemblage of our needle case. I suggest to carry out assemblage by means of the hot gun. It's convenient quickly and strongly. The only thing is dangerous. If you are afraid to burn, take care of protecting hands by thick leather or tarpaulin gloves or work very accurately as I. After all, from hot plastic there are quite badly burns. So, at first, we fix a lacy rouge on an inner edge of the cup, and then we put in it a synthetic winterizer, and from the top glue our pad for needles. After that, we will need only to fix on the same hot glue the cup to the saucer. And in the end, it's necessary to give to the product a little ease. After all, the applied on it patina gave it quite antique view. For this reason, I continue work that I take clear wax and with its help erase surpluses of bitumen from the product. And after this operation, we can consider our needle case ready. And now I will tell you how I made such fabric flowers. Here everything is very simple. For work we need any natural fabric. I have pink and green cotton sheeting. You can take all natural silk or flax. The main thing is that fabric will be natural. Before work, it needs to be impregnated with gelatin, that it becomes dense and won't pour at the edges. We make it so. We take 2 teaspoons of edible gelatin, pour them with a glass of cold water and infuse 40 minutes. Then we put solution on a plate and warm on slow fire until it becomes transparent. We wait when solution cools down, dip fabric there, and hang it up on drying in one layer. After gelatin dries, fabric will become hard and will be suitable for giving off any form to it. From this hard fabric, for example as at Me Pink, we cut out flowers on cardboard templates. Then, we incise them on petals to the center without reaching it 3-4 mm aside. The more flowers of different diameter you will make, the more lush will be the flower in assemblage. Also, we need to make leaves. We cut out them from green fabric and put aside. If you want, you can take paint on fabric, dilute it with water and paint it the edges of petals and leaves. Petals with red paint and leaves with a dark green. We wait when paint dries, put petals on a damp cloth, put the soft rubber rag fitted by cotton fabric on a table, and having taken in hand the warm soldering iron on 40 watts with inserted into it a metal ball on a leg, begin to push by it each petal of our pink flowers. And of course, their middles. Because fabric is impregnated with gelatin and that it a little damp, heating it with a special tool, we have perfectly formed volume corona. Leaves can be processed a metal hook or a knife, also being special nozzles for a soldering iron by means of which are made fabric flowers. If all preparation has the necessary volume, it's possible to pass to assemblage of flowers. For this purpose, it's possible to take ready stamens, which are on sale in many shops for needlework, or to make them independently. In other words, to cut off a piece of a floristic wire, to bend one end and to wind it with cotton wool with white glue, and then to dip it into the semolina painted in yellow color. When stamens will dry, we thread on them our pink flowers in 3 or 4 tiers, starting with the smallest and finishing with the biggest, and fix them on a wire by means of hot glue. If flowers are ready, it's possible to begin decorating our needle case. At first, I fix on hot glue the green pieces of a yarn impregnated with white glue and dry it. Therefore, they are hard and take the form which you will conceive to give. Then, we put leaves and finish composition with the fabric flowers. As a result, we have the wonderful thing. I advise to refresh it a little more with white paint which I apply on the volume decor of the cup and slightly tint by it flowers and leaves. I dry paint, decorate composition with a satin bow and admire the new needle case. I like it very much, and for some reason I don't want to stick needles in it. It seems to me that today we spend time with advantage, as learned a lot about how it's possible to decorate the vintage object, for example, as our today's needle case. I hope that you like creation of a volume ornament and aging of surface by means of bituminous wax and tea leaves. You will surely try to apply them in your handmade projects, and I need only to hope that my advices and recommendations will help you with it. And also I'm sure that you surely will have after this program many remarkable ideas, and you will surely create something unusual by your hands. It's not necessary to make a needle case to apply the knowledge obtained at today's lesson. Look for, watch, choose, and do beauty by your hands. On it, I say goodbye to you to new ideas. Today with you there was your Fochtina Natasha. Good luck and goodbye.